Hi, this is Angela Taylor with Taylor Homestead, so welcome back. So, I have been asked by an individual to make 150 paws, like dog paws, for an event. So she's asked that the organization that she's with remain nameless. So I wanted to show you the making of these 150 paws and some and some funny stories behind many of my fails. Because you know, when you've never done something like this, you do a lot of fails before you get to the right thing, and these fails are kind of funny. So anyway, if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, give me a big thumbs up, and talk to me in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye. Make 150 of these small paws. Now, this, when you measure it, is 2 inches by 2 inches with 0.6 in depth. So I've done about 90 of these so far. But I just wanted to show you all the steps it took to get here. So, here are all my missteps, and this is actually not even all of them because I shaved up some of them and put some in some other soap because there were so many colors in them. So let me show you. Kate's over here laughing. All right, so here were some of the issues that we had at first. And this particular one, for whatever reason, the soap set up. I always soap at room temperature, but this one started to set up before I could get the colors in. So you had red, orange, yellow, and then boy, by the time we got to the green and the blue, you couldn't even, it didn't work. On this one, then we had some problems with getting them out of the mold. So, and you really don't quite know, you don't know if it's bad until it actually comes out of the mold. So this one had a problem physically coming out of the mold. So then I thought, you know, I'm gonna get smart and I'm gonna put it in the freezer for a time to see if they come out better. Some did, others did not. This one cracked because it was in the freezer for too long. Okay, this one was almost perfect, except that when I pulled it out of the mold, even after it was in the freezer for a time, that this piece came off, and for whatever reason, I've got some red, like mica dust in here. This has been a labor of love. And you see here on this one, you had the white squish out onto the paw. My plan for these is to make them embeds and put them inside a larger bar of soap. So this is the mold that it goes in, and I'm actually gonna show you how I do all of this. You've got these are like indented, see? You can kind of see how they're indented, and you can see on the back side. Now it looks really big on the screen, but this is 2 inches. This is 2 inches by about 2 inches. So the process is you've got to put the white in here and then kind of divvy it out. And then you've got to put the colors in so that a little bit of red goes here and a little bit of orange goes here and yellow and green and so on and so forth. The problem is you get to the point where all of this, you run out of room for the colors. So then it kind of gets to the point where you're doing a purple toe and a green toe and a blue toe and a purple toe and a green toe. So anyway, I've had lots of practice on this at this point. So I'm able to make 36 at a time. Today's will be basil, sage, mint, fragrance from Nature's Garden. The other ones that you saw earlier on were satsuma. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pour just a little bit of this into this bag, and this bag contains my titanium dioxide. Now, here's the funny thing. I'm having, on these, I can't tell you how much I need for every color. Like, I'm having to feel it out all the way through. I mean, I know how much batter I need, but I can't tell you how much white, how much red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple that I need. I physically can't tell it, so you just have to feel it out. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is this is the top of a squirty bottle, okay? And this is used to put it precisely where I need the batter, which is in the bottom of these puppy paws, right inside these pieces here. So the name of the game is preciseness. You have to be precise where every single bit of the color goes. So what I do is I take this and I put some of this in here. I put my finger over the top of it so it doesn't come clambering out. And I put this inside here, like so. Again, not really knowing precisely how much I need to fill each one. Now I'm only working on 18 of these. Keep that in mind. All right, so what I do next is actually, it works better if you turn it upside down like this. Let's go around. All right, so what I do is I drip it in there. Like I said, you've got to be precise, because if you and I put my pipette, or I've been using a chopstick, and being precise is the name of the game in all of this, and patient, because if you're not patient, I've messed up so many of these. So you have to be very patient when you do this. So you want to just keep dropping it in until you fill most of the mold up. Okay, so what you're seeing here is I've got all the white where I want it, but then I've got some extra white in places that I don't want it. So what I don't want is the white in these other pink areas. I don't mind challenges like this in the summertime. I really don't. Now, if it was during the school year when I'm trying to teach, that might be a different story. But I kind of like a challenge, especially in the summertime when I'm not working at full-time teaching job. It's okay with me. Sometimes I feel like I'm in some forensic lab, making sure I've got all my I's dotted and every speck of evidence where it needs to go. All right, so I've got my red here, and again, I can't tell you how much I'm supposed to be putting in. I can't answer that. I don't know exactly. What I do know is the red is the color that I need the least amount of. And so what I just keep doing is I keep mixing, and I keep mixing, and I keep mixing. And if I need a little more, then I mix a little more soap together. If you're wondering, here's the soap batter that's beginning to kind of set up, and this is the kind of consistency I want. It really needs to be kind of like a pudding consistency. So when you do this, I always like to turn it upside down like this. I turn all of these upside down. And then what I do is I dollop just a little bit. Now, here's the funny thing with this. You do just a teeny tiny bit right there. And see, I do a little bit dollop, so it's not, and then I have to go back over it with a different utensil to make sure that I have it in the place that I need it. Got to see how it's on the white right now. We don't want it on the white, because if it stays on the white, then you can't see it from the other side. So you got to kind of figure out what, as you spread out the soap, what it's going to look like on the other side. All right, so you can see I've got the red. It's really kind of a pinky color. She didn't want this particular customer didn't want like an in-your-face red. So here I've got the orange, and again, what I'm going to do is I put it on top, carefully with the red because this is still a little runnier than I like to work with. And I let it roll over the top, and then I will place it here in a little bit. So I'll show you what I mean. So I let it roll on top there again. And I did put the fragrance oil just in this particular color, in my orange color. I don't put the fragrance oil in all of it. This fragrance oil tends to make your soap a little runny. So I don't want to put that in all. So then what I do is, now that I've got the color in, I take the end of my paintbrush, you can see there, and I just literally move it around. Now honestly, the first 3 colors are the hardest part of this. Once you get to the green and the blue and the purple, it's not nearly as tedious. It really is not. So I'm going to do the other sets of molds, and I will bring you back when I get into the yellow. All right, so now I'm back with the green. All right, so here's what you do with it. Now I'm beginning to have to get into some toes here. Sometimes that's just the way it is. I can't, because I gotta have enough room, see, for the other 2 colors. So I'm giving them a green toe at this point. Because it's not I'm not having problems with like the inside of it, it's the surface area I have to work with. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving him a green toe, and I can kind of fill in back in here a little bit. Alrighty, now I'm here back with the blue. So this is where it gets a wee bit easier. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it just in this space, because you see I'm out of space at this point. I have to leave enough room for the purple, because the purple has to be on the bottom so that you can see all of it. It's not what so I just hit the toe in there. You can see how I'm hitting the toe, and then I've got just that little bitty space left for the purple, and then the purple will cover the rest of it. So yes, it's gotten a little easier. So I'll be back when I hit the purple. All right, so I'm to the purple, and you see I've kind of filled in the spaces already. Now, what I do...
She's making puppy paws.
I am making puppy paws. Alrighty, so then what I do is I pour the rest of this in. I kind of spoon it in. At this point, this is the easiest part, because you just fill in the rest of the mold with your purple. Because what's important is the toes on the other side are all different colors. Your shades are all seen.
So make sure to not put too much, or it will overflow, then it will leak over to other ones and they will overflow.
That's right. So then what you do, what I like to do is I kind of bang it like this carefully up and down.
Subscribe to Mommy's channel.
Good job.